It's time for the Splash Live from Civic Center TV, featuring stories from and about people like you in the greater West Bloomfield area. Simulcast on cable, 89.3 Lakes FM, social media, and the web. Now live from Green Media Center on Walnut Lake Road, it's the Splash Live.
Live, local, social, it's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. I'm your host, Tyler Keefe. Thank you so much for joining us. Our top story today, over the weekend, our first responders took the time to join some of our seniors for some delightful Easter festivities. Our very own Jake Schaff has the story.
Just recently, many of our first responders took time out of their busy schedule to stop by and visit the seniors here at Magnolia by the Lakes in Keego Harbor for their first annual Easter celebration event sponsored by J&J Towing. It provided a chance for some of the older members of our community to enjoy a little bit of that Easter fun and to say thank you to the first responders that help make these cities what they are.
It's overwhelming. You look at the parking lot, you think there's a huge emergency out there, but it's very overwhelming. The residents absolutely loved it. It gives them something to do other than just sitting in their rooms or, conversing with each other. They were really looking forward to this all week long. They love interacting with other people other than just their, fellow residents that they live with. We were honored to be selected to have everybody come from Orchard Lake, West Bloomfield, Keego Harbor to support us here at Magnolia.
It's a beautiful day, and the seniors here at Magnolia are kind of the forgotten residents of Keego Harbor. I mean, this is their address. They're not really acknowledged very much, and it was great what Bobby LeBlanc and J&J Towing could put on today for them. I'm glad to be here. And, and a lot of them are veterans, and a lot have been through twice as much as what we've been through in life, seeing how it was harder back then. So you got to respect them. Each one of them has probably an awesome story or stories to tell.
Our first responders got to spend time with several of Greater West Bloomfield seniors, while the seniors got to enjoy plenty of Easter festivities, complete with their very own egg hunt.
Well, I think it's always uplifting at Easter to have an activity, related to the holiday, and as well as your religious feelings and so forth and so on, whatever your faith or none. I think it's nice around Easter to have that celebratory spring season and reawakening. Well, it's kind of fun to meet the Easter Bunny. I always like when they have those characters. I always feel very comfortable talking to them, takes me back to childhood days or something. They're kind of fun. And it was very nice to meet the officer, the police department, and people from the fire department. And we also met people who were from that towing company that sponsored J&J Towing, which apparently is the sponsor of this event.
They have been looking forward to this. This is something that we have actually planned about a month ago. So that's why some of them brought some of their family members so that they could come and do the Easter egg hunt with them. So they were very, very appreciative. The other thing too is when the officers or the fire department come in, it's usually not on a good term.
Right.
It's something else, and now they're seeing them on a different level, that it's, that they're people too. And they're not just here to help them, they're here to be their friend. I just hope that they understand that, elderly people are people too. They deserve a little bit of attention, a little bit of time, and if you can do it to help them out in any way, to put a smile on their face, it's all worth it. This is something that I would like to make as an every year event, as long as, we're allowed to come on back.
It was all smiles and celebrations here at Magnolia by the Lakes, and their first annual Easter celebration proved to be a gigantic success, opening the doors for more opportunities like this in the future, and for the seniors to continue to enjoy all of the fun times here in Keego Harbor and beyond. For Civic Center TV, I'm Jake Schaff.
Appreciate the report, Jake. And there's plenty more fun on the way in Keego Harbor as they will continue their Easter festivities over this upcoming Easter weekend proper on Saturday, which will be their annual Easter egg hunt for the kids and families. Come hunt for golden tickets that include some special prizes hidden among over 3,000 eggs that will be dropped at Rose Sorter Park just behind City Hall. The hunt begins at 11 a.m. sharp, and we tell you that because they emphasize that over at Keego Harbor Parks and Rec. We've seen it in years past. This egg hunt goes really quick. It's more of a mad dash for those 3,000 plus eggs, often entirely over in less than just 5 minutes. So make sure you are there before 11 a.m. because that hunt begins and is over in the snap of a finger. In addition to the Easter egg hunt, you and the family can also have your picture taken with the Kigo Bunny. This fun all begins behind City Hall in Rose Sorter Park at 11 a.m. on Saturday. You can get there a little earlier. You should get there a little bit earlier, as we've already emphasized. And for more information on this and other fun coming up with Kigo Harbor, parks and recreation all throughout the spring, summer, fall, and beyond, join their Facebook page at KH Parks. And of course, you can stay tuned right here on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. The weather is getting warmer. The people of Greater West Bloomfield are getting more active and out and about, but many are also looking for some additional ways to improve their health that may take them a bit off of the beaten path. Civic Center TV reporter Kevin McIntosh has more.
With the growing demand of alternative wellness solutions to traditional medicine, businesses like Drip IV Therapy and Hydration is offering unique services to help people feel better, recover faster, and achieve overall well-being. Today, we're exploring these alternative trends right here in West Bloomfield.
So IV therapy and hydration is intravenous nutrition along with water. In addition to that, though, we have options for adding nutrition into it, and I help people figure out what's a good fit for them.
With urgent care visits increasing, IV therapy offers a faster, more accessible way to boost hydration, immunity, and recovery. Deanna Grove explains how Drip IV provides an alternative to traditional care.
We're actually housed between like 4 urgent cares, okay? There's going to be times where you need to go there. I mean, there just is. But on those times that you don't, and you know that you're dehydrated, you know that you need nutrition, this is an amazing alternative to the long wait times, to being around a lot of people that are sick, you know, and it's just, it's a different vibe here, right? You get to sit in a comfortable, relaxing massage chair, just let all that goodness sink in from the IV bag, and there's no wait time, virtually no wait time here. Maybe 5 minutes if someone's ahead of you. But other than that, it is a great alternative to having to go to the emergency room.
Unlike traditional supplements, IV therapy delivers vitamins directly into the bloodstream for faster absorption. Deanna shares how this method maximizes health benefits.
Oral supplements, I definitely recommend them. You know, you really should take your vitamins, a good high quality vitamin. However, there's a process when you ingest something, just like food or water or vitamins. There's an entire process that goes down your system, starting with saliva and stomach and then liver, and then it gets to where it needs to be, which is where? The bloodstream. So we bypass all of that and go right to the bloodstream, which is why you leave here feeling amazing.
Since opening in West Bloomfield, Drip IV has been growing interest in its wellness services. We also discussed the community's response to this alternative health option.
Oh my goodness, the community has responded so well. We have so many like family members, even husband and wives, couples that will come here on a monthly basis. We were actually just featured in the West Bloomfield City Lifestyle magazine. These are 2 of our favorite clients that come in, and they just spend family time together. This has been a great response, and we were very honored to be featured in the City Lifestyle magazine in West Bloomfield. This is Mark McManus, one of the owners, and it's a really great interview.
As alternative wellness solutions continue to grow in popularity, IV therapy is becoming a go-to for a quick and effective health boost. From West Bloomfield Township, I'm Kevin McIntosh, Civic Center TV.
Drip IV on the Boulevard on Orchard Lake Road right here in West Bloomfield Township. One of the many excellent options for health service providers close to home in Greater West Bloomfield. For listings of even more local businesses that are maybe alternatives to some of the traditional health services you may find across our community and beyond, you can support those local businesses by visiting westbloomfieldchamber.com, connecting with the Chamber team. Suzanne Levine does a great job of connecting these local businesses with you for whatever your needs may be each and every day, or even if you just want to explore something different to do next weekend or throughout the week right here in Greater West Bloomfield. A brand new facility is soon to open its doors to the public with amenities ranging from luxurious meeting spaces to a theater and even a TV and podcasting studio. Civic Center TV's Jake Schaff talked about the brand new Chaldean Community Center with Tom Haji to learn more.
We have Tom Haji joining us on the Splash Live, a board member with the Chaldean Cultural Center. Tom, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Glad to have you with us. Really, really happy to hear about this brand new building making its way to West Bloomfield. What does this ribbon cutting ceremony represent for the Chaldean Community Foundation and the Chamber of Commerce?
Well, we've made tremendous strides these past 20 years since our inception of the Chaldean American Chamber of Commerce. And, West Bloomfield is home to many Chaldeans. I believe 20 to 25% of the population is Chaldean. So it's been long overdue for us to launch this building. It's very exciting. We're excited about May 2nd and looking forward to all the dignitaries. And the governor will also be here. So we're excited about it.
That's great. It's such a big deal for the community. You should be very excited. Can you share some of the highlights or unique features of the new facility that attendees should look forward to seeing?
Oh, yes, definitely. This is definitely different from our Sterling Heights facility, which is mainly focused on social and humanitarian and program-based programs. We service over 48,000 people over in our Sterling Heights facility. This facility will be mainly for cultural competency, cultural awareness. So we're going to have a library that will host a lot of our old manuscripts dating back to 500 AD. We'll have the only Chaldean museum. We're moving it from Shenandoah to our facility here and doubling its size. Again, the only Chaldean museum in the world right now, unfortunately. But we'll have a TV radio station. I'm actually sitting inside the TV studio, as you can see the backdrop there, trying to keep up with you guys. But we have a theater, we have a gymnasium, we have a community kitchen. We'll have classes to teach the community, Chaldean and non-Chaldean. Everyone is welcome to come and sit on the classes and learn our food, learn our heritage, learn about our culture. It's going to be exciting.
Man, this place sounds awesome. I can't wait to see it. But why was right now the right time for the foundation and the chamber to expand or relocate into a new facility?
Yeah, we're definitely expanding. We've made some great strides. Michigan is our home. It's been our home for almost 100 years now. The first Chaldean pioneers came here looking for opportunity, automotive jobs, and then obviously our background being merchants, we got into the grocery business and have expanded since then into many other careers. We even have a Chaldean that's in NASA, and Chaldean is doing amazing things. We had a Time Magazine Chaldean of the Year, Person of the Year. I mean, so and Michigan has been our home. West Bloomfield has been our home, like I mentioned. So it's been long overdue. We've been looking at this building actually for the last 10 years, waiting for an opportunity to purchase it, and the time came late in 2022 where we pulled the trigger. So.
Awesome. And I'm sure everybody in the community is very, very excited and can't wait to see this new building. What kinds of services or initiatives will this new facility allow the foundation and chamber to offer that weren't possible before?
Yeah, like I mentioned, we have classrooms here as well that will teach, our language, our heritage language, Aramaic. We'll also have some other classes depending on what the need is. Obviously that's how Sterling Heights started. Sterling Heights started off as a 1,100 square foot building, and now we're at 30,000 square feet over there. This building is 42,000 square feet. So it's going to have like I mentioned, classrooms to teach our language. We'll have a business incubator. Back in 2020, we launched a angel fund and have invested in 7 companies, and we have over 1,000 chamber members to date. And so we're offering our services to assist them in business development and other opportunities. Again, our motto is, building business, building relationships, building community. So, and again, the gymnasium for youth programs, the theater to hold, special events, documentaries, the TV radio station. We'll have the Chaldean Voice here as well. So a lot of exciting things happening. The Chaldean Chamber offices will be here, the Chaldean News. So exciting stuff.
Very, very exciting stuff. For those just joining us right now on the Splash Live, we have Tom Haji, a board member with the Chaldean Foundation of Michigan, talking about the brand new Chaldean Cultural Center that's making its way to Michigan and will be having its ribbon cutting in West Bloomfield on May the 2nd. And Tom, you touched on this a little bit earlier, but how does this new facility reflect the growth and resilience of the Chaldean American community here in Michigan?
Well, it's definitely a big milestone for us. In 2008, we did a survey. Walsh College conducted a survey where there was only 100,000 Chaldeans in Michigan, and we recently refreshed that survey. We're roughly around 200,000 Chaldeans, so it's a huge milestone. We finally have a voice, not only in Michigan, but in Washington, D.C. and around the world. Our president has recently visited the Middle East, and we're building bridges there as well. So our voice is being heard all the way through the state capitol, D.C., and around the globe. So it's a pretty big deal for such a small community. There used to be over 1 million Chaldeans in Iraq, not too long ago, and now there's less than 200,000. And so this is our new home. So.
And it's a very great home to have. Tom, what message do you hope this new space sends to young Chaldean professionals and entrepreneurs?
Well, they should be proud. They should be proud to be Chaldean. They should get more involved. We the next generation. I know if we don't keep our language and our heritage going, we're going to lose it, and we don't want to do that. We have a very long history, over 5,500 year history, and Jesus spoke our language, and it's something to be proud of and something to get more people involved. So we need the youth to get more involved, and we have a very strong community here in West Bloomfield and Sterling Heights, and we just ask that everybody make their way through and see how we can keep the growth going.
Of course, and we want to see this community grow as big as it can possibly be. Tom, just a couple more questions before we let you go. Looking ahead, what are your hopes for the future of the foundation and the chamber as they settle into this new home?
Our hopes is to continue our mission. We're building attainable housing in Sterling Heights. We want to do something in Oakland County. We're building 135 units right now that will be complete in the next month or so. So we'll have a nice ribbon cutting over there, and then we're planning on building another 82 units in Sterling Heights. But definitely West Bloomfield, Oakland County, we want to do something in this area. And again, this is where most of our people live, and this is our home. And we just hope that we continue the growth, continue the awareness to the community, and educate people on who we are and what we're made of.
Absolutely, and everyone is going to love what's to come with the new Chaldean Center. Tom, one last quick question. Where can people go to gain a little more information about this ribbon cutting event?
They can simply visit, our website, chaldeanfoundation.org or chaldeanchamber.com. Our social media handles as well on Facebook and Twitter and the rest of the platforms, LinkedIn. But we're excited. It's going to be more of an intimate ribbon cutting, and then we'll have an official grand opening a couple months later to open to the public. So.
Awesome. Great information to have, and a great building that's making its way right here to West Bloomfield. Tom, thank you so much for joining us today here on the Splash Live.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
The new facility is located on Walnut Lake Road in West Bloomfield. A fantastic facility. It's been coming together really over the last year or so. And it's going to be an open facility to people across the greater West Bloomfield community. That's something that both Tom and the team over at the Chaldean Community Foundation has made very clear. They want this to be a hub for everybody in greater West Bloomfield, and also a way for people to get to know their Chaldean neighbors that much better. For more information on the all-new Chaldean Community Center in West Bloomfield Township, you can visit chaldeanfoundation.org. Again, that is chaldeanfoundation.org. Civic Center TV is celebrating a couple of very special anniversaries this month with 89.3 Lakes FM having been on the air for 50 years and governmental body that oversees our operation, the Greater West Bloomfield Cable Communications Commission, celebrating 40 years of service to you and providing resources like this very show and this very TV and radio station each and every day. I had a chance to sit down with longtime Cable Commissioner Deb Macon for insight into the Commission's evolving role in the community over the years and why community media is more important now than ever before. Among the many people that have served on this board across those 40 years is Deb Macon, who has been serving since 1999 on the Greater West Bloomfield Cable Communications Commission. She joins us now for the celebration of 40 years of this organization. Deb, thank you so much.
It is a real pleasure to be here, Tyler. We have lots to celebrate.
Yeah, plenty to celebrate about what this board does and how it serves the Greater West Bloomfield community. Of course, people watching this show, listening to this show, they're seeing and they're listening to one of those prime examples. But there's so much more that also goes on in the background that the Cable Commission has done since the very beginning. Civic Center TV coming in kind of midway through that. Take us through a little bit of the work that's done behind the scenes by essentially volunteers in our community.
Oh my, Tyler, there is quite a bit. There are 12 of us. We absolutely take our roles very, very seriously and really work in a unique way, different from many of the other commissions. While there are not many of them, we've come up with a new way, actually from our inception, to do this. So a number of us, not only or volunteers who serve the entire community in the commission, but there are times when we work to support the executive director and on occasion the program manager in a volunteer role where we roll our sleeves up and know that we're a working board to support delivering outstanding programs all across the community. We're constantly looking for new ideas. We regularly evaluate how the programs are going and feedback that comes from everyone. And we also look at ourselves and ask ourselves, what could we be doing better to be even more engaged and bring so many more opportunities to our community?
And it's also helping to interface with members of our community and cable companies that are still providing service to this day. You know, as much as we talk about people having cut the cord over the years, many in our communities still are Comcast or AT&T subscribers, and they have those daily issues. And even those that aren't subscribers, they may have a cable that's showing in their yard or a box that's open or damaged that needs attendance to. And that's also a huge part of what this commission does. But Deb, going back to the programming you talked about, so much of this has morphed over the years. Gone are the days when a community television station was something you turned on to kind of just see a rolling event calendar and some elevator music to know what's going on in your community. It's really morphed into something that is meant to be much more engaging. So how does that play a factor into the conversation commission-wide, into the role of Civic Center TV, Lakes FM, and this commission now and for the next 40 years?
You know what? Let me address your specific question, but you said something in setting this segment, this portion up, that I'd really like to comment about when you mentioned supporting customers of cable. And we want to make sure everyone knows we have a 100% track record in terms of providing support for all of those who reach out to us, who let us know something is going on. And that even includes those of us who are very active consumers of cable. And are exceptionally pleased with the way the executive director is able to troubleshoot and work through those capacities. So I would encourage everyone, look at how to reach us. At the bottom of your bill, you'll see our office number and would be able to leave a message for us to let us know exactly what your concern is and even how we might even begin to address it. And now to your specific question. So when it comes to engagement, we leave no stone unturned,
Yeah.
Tyler, literally no stone unturned. Some of us are very actively involved in the community. I know there's not a single person who knows me in the community who does not know that before our conversation ends, they're going to be asked their ideas, their thoughts, and their engagement with their Civic Center TV. We review those comments regularly, and that's something that all of us literally relish because our goal here is to make sure that what is presented um, reflects all of Greater West Bloomfield. And we literally evaluate ourselves as we do that. So often when we have our working group committee meetings, we leave with more homework than we came in because collecting questions and then asking one another about who have they spoken with, who have they reached out to, and that includes our local elected officials, especially. Very, very much so. What kind of feedback are you hearing? And based on that feedback, what sets up new opportunities for us to even do a better job?
And it's a way for us here at Civic Center TV, which is one of the primary functions of the Greater West Bloomfield Cable Communications Commission, to kind of take people through a walk through history. Deb, what we're doing for the celebration of 40 years of the Greater West Bloomfield Cable Communications Commission is we're going to be going back through time, playing some of the favorite programs of our community from over the years of Civic Center TV, looking back through historical programs, through some of the most popular programs on YouTube and other social media as well. I mean, as I've been cycling through these programs to get them ready to put them on the air this week for the celebration, it really has sort of been like an encyclopedia of Greater West Bloomfield history. And I'd imagine that's also another pride and joy of the commission.
You know what? Absolutely. And by the way, because I did know that I would be joining you and have the privilege of helping to kick off our celebration, I looked at my history too. And, I moved to Greater West Bloomfield about a year before we launched. And there was something that triggered my interest. I've been a member of the League of Women Voters forever, and our local league was studying cable television and literally developed insights and thoughts about how broadly servicing we should be as an organization to making sure opportunities such as we're providing right now in Greater West Bloomfield are possible. And when I looked at the very detailed position statement, Greater West Bloomfield is delivering very, very much so. So this will be a grand walk through history. Actually, in one of our latest meetings, I asked and thought, wouldn't it be great to be able to see all of the things that we've accomplished? And in the beginning, social media was only a
fraction.
tiny thought, even if it was available at that time. So we have grown so very, very much over these years and really developed the muscle and the strength to be able to provide so much more to our community-based organizations and the elected officials who serve Greater West Bloomfield.
And you mentioned, too, Deb Makin's with us. She's on the Greater West Bloomfield Cable Communications Commission, an organization that is now celebrating 40 years of service to West Bloomfield, Keego Harbor, Orchard Lake Village, and, of course, Sylvan Lake. We'll have plenty of our programming from Civic Center TV back on your screens and, of course, on Lakes FM in the coming days. And as we talk about 40 years of the commission, it's also a big anniversary for 89.3 Lakes FM. It's their 50th anniversary. Of course, that radio station launched initially by the West Bloomfield School District and in recent years became one of the many entities of the Greater West Bloomfield Cable Communications Commission for local programming, for keeping people informed. But Deb, one of the most important elements of our radio station is for emergency information, because we're in severe weather season. We just experienced, before this interview was initially on live, a big storm, and that's a huge part of the initiative going forward, is continuing to be able to look at the TV station goes out. If people don't have cable, they'll still have that radio station being able to have us go live and tell them what they need to know to keep safe here in Greater West Bloomfield.
Tyler, you have touched the subject that is so near and dear to me. Literally, first coming into the commission, boosting our engagement, utilizing Lakes FM has been a serious passion of mine. And I have to admit, there was such a crisis over about midway during that period, before we were as actively supporting Lakes FM as today. There was no electricity, there was no water. How are people supposed to know what's going on in the community and be able to connect? So several of us in the commission are really excited that we actually have launched, or we're in the process of launching, a nonprofit organization that is going to separately support and look at how to make sure our residents know how to reach Civic Center TV radio. I've made up a new name, as well as calling it Lakes FM as well. This is so critical. I am always with my weather radio so that I can check in, and being able to reach out to Lakes FM to know what kind of resources are available in the community is just a real gift. I'm so excited about that.
Well, whether it's an ice storm, a water main break that shuts down water across our communities for well over a week, or a global pandemic that may be thrown in there every now and then, we're able to provide you that information right here on Lakes FM, as has been done for the last 50 years, providing community programming on the radio, and of course, providing television programming through Civic Center TV, all part of the mission of the Greater West Bloomfield Cable Communication Commission, celebrating their 40th anniversary. Deb, thank you so much for your time today, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Great to talk to Deb Makin about 40 years of the Greater West Bloomfield Cable Communications Commission and the big 50th anniversary of 89.3 Lakes FM. Go ahead and drop us a comment on YouTube or on Facebook at Civic Center TV 15 for more insight into these past 50 years. Maybe you were at one point a Lakes FM student when it was the student radio station at West Bloomfield High School. We want to hear your memories of 50 years of 89.3 Lakes FM, and tell us more about your favorite Civic Center TV programs from over the years. And of course, you can celebrate with us by finding those playing all throughout the month, the most interesting and popular programs from Civic Center TV. See a full listing of when those are playing on our website at civiccentertv.com. We'll take a break on The Splash. Plenty more to get to, including how current economic times and those ever-present tariffs are affecting our local businesses. Live, local, social. It's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
So much is happening in your community. Join Jake, Tyler, and Kevin for local events and developments on The Splash Live, weekdays at 10 a.m. on CivicCenterTV.com, YouTube, and Facebook.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
And now, back to The Splash, live.
Live, local, social, it's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. I'm Tyler Keith, thanking you for joining us and encouraging you to always stay tuned with all of our programming on our website on CivicCenterTV.com and across our social media, Facebook at Civic Center TV 15, everywhere else, Instagram, X, and YouTube. You can also find us for free 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, our programming at Civic Center TV. Tariffs are all the talk of economists, business people, and everyday average Joes like you and I nowadays. With prices increasing, how have tariff talks and actions been affecting our local small businesses? Here to discuss that and more is June Eaton, the owner of My Dream Dress Bridal Salon in West Bloomfield. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me, Tyler.
Happy to have you on to talk about this because it really is something that I think might be slipping through the cracks as we think so much about how our individual pocketbooks are affected going to the grocery store, paying our bills every month. Those small businesses that really are the drivers of our community, their products that they're selling, a lot of those are being made with products from all over the country and all over the world. For you personally at your business, how have these tariffs and the recent economic times been affecting the ability for you to run your operation?
Sure, yeah. We are having to pivot and brace ourselves for the impact to come. When you plan for your first quarter in fourth quarter of 2024, if you don't foresee that coming, you've already planned for what you're doing, what you expect to do, what revenue you expect to get in based on your numbers from previous sales and years. And so with this additional impact, logistically, with the supply chain and all of that impacting, you just don't know what's going to happen because it's the uncertainty with all of the talk about it going up, it's impacted, and how soon it will go in effect for you. And we're seeing that now, even with our foreign trades. We're seeing that now as they're preparing for what they need to do on their end. And so we have to prepare on our end.
And after 20 years of serving brides and families close to home here in West Bloomfield and across Oakland County, you will be ultimately closing your business. And there's a number of factors that ultimately go into that. But before we get more into the economics of how that all came to be, for you personally, what has it meant to you to be able to serve a community like this and really all throughout Oakland County for these past 20 years?
Oh, amazing. The community has been a very wonderful support from all over. We get brides from Indiana. We get brides from Ohio. We get brides from far north to from the Petoskey area, Grand Rapids. So we're very proud about that and excited of all of the support that's been supporting us over the years. So we're, it's a happy medium, but it's kind of a spot in us where we're gonna miss what we do, but love to move on.
You're not going entirely away just yet. For now, you're taking more of those just custom orders at this point in time. So give us the status of your business right now. If people are looking for that perfect wedding dress or for another occasion and they want to go shop local and help somebody that's been serving our community for 2 decades.
Sure, yeah. We're actually going to be transitioning, like I said, into more concentrated on more local custom designs for individuals who want that different and trying to keep them from shopping online and getting something that they don't know that they're going to get. So a little bit more, we're very hands-on, but a little bit more hands-on with each individual person. So it's not a walk in off the street. It's appointments. It's making sure that we have captured your vision and moving forward from there.
Like, you talk to any couple to be that's planning a wedding, the price range of all the different services that go into putting a wedding together, especially the attire, play a big role in that. And with the current economic times having such a wide-ranging impact on the price of goods, and as you mentioned earlier on, the supply chain, how have you had to adjust in partnership with your clients to move forward on their needs with these custom wares, in spite of everything that's going on economically impacting the supply chains and impacting the materials that you need to make these custom dresses?
Sure, yeah. Time, right? Making sure we're planning properly. You sure can't come to me a week before.
No.
Get it? We want to make sure you plan. Normally, people know their events way ahead of time, so proper planning goes well with everything. It reduces the stress that you have of making sure that what you're going to get works for you. So, proper planning is what we say. Plan ahead. Set your budget and have your budget expectation after you do your consultation. I always encourage people to do the consultation first to make sure that they understand what they're asking for and what the cost is going to be. And we would be able to project the delivery of that based on that consultation.
We're joined by June Eaton, the owner of My Dream Dress Bridal Salon in West Bloomfield, on today's edition of The Splash Live. More information on their ongoing services and their location on Northwestern Highway in West Bloomfield can be found on mydreamdressbridalsalon.com. And June, your business has been running for 20 years. You've gone through economic hardships before and tough economic times. So you have some experience with that, but we have a wide range of small businesses in the greater West Bloomfield community and a wide range of small business owners. For those that are navigating these tough economic times, these really challenging economic times, what advice do you have for them in working to navigate their needs, growing their business, but also the uncertainty that's ongoing and more to come ahead?
Sure, yeah, no, proper planning. Make sure you don't bite off more than you can chew, and setting proper expectations for your clients. And a part of that is reducing your stress, right? A lot of times, small business owners, we get stressed about, are we going to get our stuff in time? Making sure you take a clear inventory of what you have on hand, utilizing what you have on hand and maximizing that to the fullest of your potential. If you have to reduce prices or increase prices, do it strategically. Don't just throw a number out there because you think that's what you need. Make sure you understand how that number factors in to your end number or to the end game. So proper planning, ensuring that you have, you know how and when to pivot, and what is your bread and butter, I always call it. What is your bread and butter product, and make sure you stock that product so that your consumers will always know that that's available to them.
June, inflation has played a huge factor in the economic hardships of the past several months and those that are ongoing as we speak. The discussion on the tariffs being enacted on other nations and then pulled away and then reenacted also is at bay. And ultimately, leadership at both the local, state, and federal level are all working at the economics of this, from a small business owner to our leadership, from the closest level to the furthest level in Washington, D.C. What message do you have for them as they're making tough decisions to further benefit our economy, hopefully in the future, but keeping in mind how those decisions now affect our small businesses now and going forward?
Well, my first thing would be stop playing games, right? So,
fair enough.
I mean, and that's just from where we are. It's like, make sure you understand why we voted you in, if we voted you in. But make sure you understand that it's more than just the round table with the 12 or 10 people that you're sitting there talking. You're talking about small business owners who run our country, who they're on the backbones of the country, right? So we're making sure that their families are safe, sound, and secure, and they're not having to stress and worry, because coupled with that, running a business, you still have to maintain your family and your household. And for small business owners, the likelihood of them entering into the workforce is probably scarce, right? Because they're overqualified. So then they don't fit into the realm of that office job or whatever. So it's just a matter of really rolling back and thinking, who am I fighting for? And who am I fighting for?
June Eaton is with us from My Dream Dress Bridal Salon in West Bloomfield as we discuss tariffs, inflation, and how they are affecting our small businesses right here in Greater West Bloomfield. June, whether it's during these economic times or during Small Business Appreciation Month or all throughout the year, the holidays especially, we hear support local, support local, support local. For someone like you that's been running a small business in our community for 20 years, what does that really mean to you? How special is it when you see someone that comes in that says, yeah, I live in the township or I live in the local community and I need a wedding dress and I'm going to a business right here in my community? For our local small business owners, just how meaningful is that to you? How special is it to have those kinds of customers walk through your door?
Absolutely, yeah. Very, very dear to us, right? Because we went to that particular building and leased that space or purchased that building because we knew we wanted to support our community. We knew we had a product that would be beneficial to the community, and you did not have to go far. You were going to get something quality. And so it means a lot for you. When people come in, we always ask them, how'd you hear about us? What area are you in? And when they say, hey, we're right up the street, that means so much because they've noticed us and they've taken a chance to come in and give it a try. So regardless if it's my local small business or someone else's that's a competitor of mine, I'm always encouraging people to shop locally.
And lastly, we know that you've been running your business for 20 years. You're transitioning into a little bit of a different business model now going forward with those custom pieces. But as you reflect on those 20 years, as you transition to that work, what has the response been like from the community? And more importantly, what will you remember about your time serving Greater West Bloomfield and the local area with your business?
Yeah, that we walked several brides down the aisles. My clients have, they're sad that, we're not going to be in that realm that we were, but yet we'll still be around.
And that's the most important thing. They will still be here, still be around. You can still find them right here in Greater West Bloomfield, Northwestern Highway in West Bloomfield Township, and online, MyDreamDressBridalSalon.com. June Eaton, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Tyler.
Appreciate it. Again, that is MyDreamDressBridalSalon.com for more information. They are taking custom orders right now. Make sure, like June said, give yourself plenty of time between the economics of it all, the shipping costs, the different materials, and of course, needing to make those dresses customized right here in our local community for local brides and others just like you. You're going to need to get in there early. So one more time, MyDreamDressBridalSalon.com, and you can find their location in West Bloomfield Township on Northwestern Highway. It's something you don't hear every day from our local leaders. Leaders in Greater West Bloomfield are hard at work helping to prepare their replacements. Very interesting. The West Bloomfield Township Parks and Recreation Commission, in partnership with the West Bloomfield Township Public Library, is excited to announce the opening of applications for their 2025-2026 Junior Leadership Commission. Here to tell us more about that effort is West Bloomfield Parks and Recreation Commissioner Sally Wenzel. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Tyler. Always nice to see you.
Yeah, good to see you as well, and to talk about a cool program that's going into place now from West Bloomfield Parks and from the library, helping to elevate some of our young leaders in the community. Tell us more about this new commission that's up and coming.
Absolutely. We're very excited after about a year of brainstorming and discussions with Principal Gardner over at West Bloomfield Middle School and with Kathy Russ at the library, Kelly Heyer, some of the staff over at Parks. We're finally getting the ball rolling, and we've launched the application to Rising, which means 7th and 8th graders that'll be 7th and 8th grade next year, rising 7th and 8th graders at our West Bloomfield Middle School. And yeah, if the kids haven't seen the app yet, it's in your email inbox. So check your inbox, kids, and you'll see the app there.
You can also find more information by asking leadership at the West Bloomfield Middle School and in the West Bloomfield School District. That contact information for families on WBSD.org. And you mentioned you're talking about this with your commission. You were talking about this with Kathy Russ, certainly with the team over at West Bloomfield Middle School. But why now for forming this commission?
Well, I got the idea personally for me came from about 3 years visiting the Junior Commission Breakfast for the City Beautiful Commission of Dearborn. Okay. And I went to that and witnessed a really amazing program. The kids stood up and took an oath of office, and they would serve a year for the Dearborn City Beautiful Commission. And so it had this environmental focus. And I thought, Parks is environmental. We've got our environmental commission, and then the library jumped on board. And it feels like there might be a little disconnect in that middle age group of kids. We've got a lot of programming interest with the young kids and with the seniors. And when the kids are in middle school, high school, they sort of drift into their activities that have to do with school. But we wanted to bring them back and form a stronger connection with the township so the kids could have a better understanding of how does the township operate? How does your community operate? Who's oiling the gears to make things happen? Who's making these ordinances that really affect your every day-to-day life?
And it's an inside look at how local government works. No better civics lesson than to be involved in that yourself and see that inside look. So when these kids ultimately go through the application process, they get on this Junior Leadership Commission with West Bloomfield Parks and the library and, of course, the West Bloomfield School District all involved. What sort of mentorship opportunities will be available for them, too? Because part of learning to become a great young leader is having those older leaders that are putting their influence on you and teaching you some of those skills along the way.
Yes, sort of like the elders of the community teaching the younger kids, but yeah. I also feel like they are going to teach us a lot too. That age group tends to be really matter of fact and really tell it like it is. And I'm hoping to get some strong opinions from these kids. Like, what are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? What do you want to see in our programming? And also, the kids, well, let me back up. The application, so there's a requirement for each of the junior commissioners to attend 3 different public meetings and then to give a little review, like write up a little summary. We haven't said this yet, but I would like each of them to get up and introduce themselves so they get a little public speaking experience. And stay for the whole meeting, meet some of the commissioners. So they have to attend 1 Parks and Rec meeting, public meeting, 1 Environmental Commission meeting, and 1 Library Board meeting. So that gives them the opportunity to really see the faces and put names to faces. And I hope that when a conversation comes up in classroom and there's some discourse going on in the classroom with these kids about maybe some public issue where you have to give an opinion, maybe one of these junior commissioners will say, well, hey, why don't you write a letter to Robert Brooks at Parks and Rec and tell him your opinion about that? Or why don't you go to the Friends of the Library has a group too, and one of their members is also on Environmental Commission, Gershon Blumstein. Why don't you, set up a meeting with him and talk to him about your issue so these kids can really get a feeling that they are capable of making change and stepping into that bubble and seeing inside of it and understanding that they can have some discourse. It's not just this distant thing that's behind a curtain,
Sally Wenzel is with us from the West Bloomfield Parks and Recreation Commission as they are opening applications on May 1st for the Junior Leadership Commission, a partnership between West Bloomfield Parks, the West Bloomfield Township Public Library, and of course the West Bloomfield School District for rising 7th and 8th graders at West Bloomfield Middle School. But not only, Sally, are they going to be able to learn from observation, seeing how some of our local commissions work, how some of these local projects get enacted and move from point A to point Z, they're going to have a chance to collaborate a little bit as well. What kind of action will they be able to put their own ideas into as they join this leadership commission?
Yes, so it's in its infancy right now. So we've just set up a framework where we're going to have 4 workshops, quarterly workshops, and right now it's I think we're going to focus on plants and seasonal things. Like in the fall, in October, we're going to plant some bulbs somewhere at the school, some daffodil bulbs, to get the kids together with some hands-on. But that could, you know, for lack of a better metaphor, it's kind of cliche, but we are planting seeds. This is we've just got the seed for the program and we want it to grow. And maybe that'll evolve into adopting a garden at the library, adopting, having their own space to maintain. I mean, that could be in the future, but for now we've got some workshops, and then eventually maybe they'll form those workshops. We've got some groundwork laid right now, but then I hope that they will kind of take charge in creating their what they want to do. And if they're passionate about some environmental issue, then they can take that and run with it.
I want to clarify, earlier on I had mentioned that the applications begin May 1st. The term dates for the Leadership Commission begin May 1st of this year. They'll conclude on April 30th of 2026. The applications are open. They do conclude on April 25th. 2025. So the online application, as Sally had mentioned, in the inboxes of our middle schoolers, and more information can be found from the West Bloomfield School District. Those are due by April 25th, 2025, if your kids are interested. And Sally, for you and others that are overseeing this operation and are going to be reading those applications as they come in over the next few weeks, what are you looking for in terms of the applicants from West Bloomfield Middle School that may be interested in joining the Junior Leadership Commission?
Well, we're looking for unique perspectives. We're looking for leadership. Kids that have maybe some former experience in student council, or sports, if you were a team captain, someone who's willing to represent their peers and bring those opinions and ideas forth in representing that group of people. Yeah, punctuation is always good too. But yeah, we're hoping to get a handful of applications, and we're looking for about 7 to 9 commissioners, but if we happen to get a few more, maybe we'll accept some more. We're starting small. Again, I think the Dearborn program had about 50 kids. So we're not quite there yet, but we can expand and we can grow. And I really hope that we get some interest. And this will be such a great opportunity for kids to understand that. I really wanted to make this point too. When kids say, oh, they should do something about that, or they should really put a better bike path in, or they should put who are they? Yeah. You know, people say, well, I want them to know who they are, and to open up the discussion with they and them, and put names to faces, and get these kids to take charge.
And have a chance to become one of them, making an impact in the community, being a leader, and starting that leadership from your own environment in your school at West Bloomfield Middle School. Sally, thank you so much for your time here. If people want to find more information on the Junior Leadership Commission, parents, students alike, is there any place that they can go to find that?
Yes, well, right now it's kind of one track. It's really just gone out to the students' emails at the middle school. However, you can call the guidance counselors or email the guidance counselors at the middle school. You can email me directly, swenzel@wbparks.org. I'd be happy to answer any questions. Look me up on the Parks webpage. I think my personal cell phone number is on there too. If you want to call me, I'm open. Directly ask Mr. Gardner at the middle school as well.
Well, we appreciate your time to introduce the community to this. Applications are open now through April 25th if your kids are interested in joining the Junior Leadership Commission here in West Bloomfield. Sally, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
As always, more projects and more information and all the fun from across Greater West Bloomfield all throughout the spring, summer, and beyond on WB Parks. That's our show. I want to remind you that television that's close to home is always online on civiccentertv.com and across our social media. Big thank you to our entire team and to you for joining in. For our entire team, I'm Tyler Kieft. Live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.